Young jock fired from Love and Hip Hop. Wait, what? Fans were left stunned when rumors started swirling that young jock had been quietly removed from season 13 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. No warning, no teaser, no goodbye post, just silence. And in the reality TV world, silence speaks volumes. Insiders say production made the call after a series of off-camera blow-ups, backstage drama, and one incident so explosive it never even made it to air. What really went down behind the scenes? Was it just a contract dispute? Or did something way deeper force producers to cut ties with one of the show's longest-standing cast members? And why was Kendra reportedly seen leaving the studio in tears just days before the decision? Some say she had a hand in it. Others say she was blindsided. But what's even more shocking? A leaked clip that producers tried to bury a moment that could change how you see Jock forever. Fans are demanding answers. Cast members are choosing sides. And social media, it's on fire. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear goes beyond petty arguments and cheating scandals. This is a story of betrayal, power plays, and a truth that could break the franchise apart. And we've got every messy detail. The tension had been building for weeks, but no one expected it to end like this. It all started with whispers around. The set production assistants noticed something was off. Young jock was showing up late to shoots, missing key confessionals, and reportedly getting into off-camera arguments with crew members. At first, everyone chalked it up to stress. After all, the drama with Kendra had only gotten worse since season 12 wrapped. And rumors were flying that their marriage was on the rocks again. But then came the breaking point. It was supposed to be a normal group scene, a barbecue hosted by Bambi. The cameras were rolling, the music was playing, and everyone was trying to keep it cute. But when Jock walked in, you could cut the tension with a knife. Kendra refused to even look at him. Scrappy barely nodded. And Spice. She rolled her eyes so hard they nearly popped out of her head. What viewers didn't see was the confrontation. That happened just moments before that scene started. Behind the trailers, Jock had pulled a producer aside and said, "I ain't doing no fake scenes. Y'all not gonna keep setting me up?" The producer reportedly tried to calm him down, but Jock wasn't having it. "Every season, y'all make me look like the villain. Got a whole wife at home who don't even speak to me because of this show, okay?" What he didn't know was that Kendra was standing just around the corner and heard everything. Insiders say she stormed off set in tears, refusing to film. Producers scrambled to salvage the shoot, but the damage was done. Jock followed her out, and for the rest of the day, no one saw him again. And that's when things really started unraveling. Word spread quickly through the cast. In group chats and DMs, the cast started choosing sides. Spice allegedly texted a producer saying, "This man always crying about edits. Maybe he should stop giving y'all content." Meanwhile, Scrappy, who's had a rocky friendship with Jock, posted a vague Instagram story that night that said, "Accountability ain't for everybody." The fans had no idea what was bubbling beneath the surface. Then came the leaked footage. Grainy clips surfaced online, reportedly filmed by a crew member. In it, Jock is seen yelling at a female producer during a private meeting. His voice is raised, his tone heated. "Think I need this show? I was lit before VH1. I made this brand pop again." The producer tries to de-escalate, but Jock slams his drink down and walks out, shouting, "I'm done being y'all's storyline." The video went viral overnight. Comments poured in. Fans were divided. Some said Jock was justified accusing the show of exploiting his personal life for ratings. Others dragged him for being unprofessional. One tweet that gained over 30K likes said, "So Jock finally had his meltdown. We've been waiting." By the next day, production had gone into full panic mode. Meetings were held, storylines were reworked, and a decision had to be made. Do they keep Jock and risk more outbursts, or cut ties before things get worse? What most people don't know is that this wasn't the first time Jock had clashed with producers. Back in season 10, there were whispers that he nearly walked off set after a heated altercation with Spice over his loyalty to Carly Red. And in season 11, it was Kendra's ultimatum that kept him grounded. Either he cooperates with filming or she walks. He stayed, but the resentment clearly never left. Fast forward to season 13. And it was clear that Jock had reached his breaking point. But there was one more twist no one saw coming. According to an inside source, just days before Jock's final scene, he had pitched his own storyline to the producers to involve reconciling with an estranged family member, his half-brother from Florida, whom he hadn't seen in over a decade. Jock reportedly wanted to bring more realness to the show. He told execs, "Let's show black men healing, not just fighting." The pitch was rejected. Why? 'Cause, as one producer allegedly said, healing don't sell. That's when Jock snapped. The rejection crushed him. Not just because it was denied, but because it confirmed what he'd feared all along. He wasn't seen as a person, he was seen as content. And to make it worse, Kendra had already started filming solo scenes without telling him. Scenes where she was reportedly venting to her friends about Jock's emotional distance and past betrayals. He felt blindsided, betrayed, cornered the night after the barbecue. Jock went live on Instagram, but only for 2 minutes. No words. Just him sitting in the dark, staring into the camera. The comments were wild. Some begged him to speak, others trolled him. But he said nothing, then ended the live. Fans immediately sensed something was off. The next morning, news broke. Young Jock would not be returning to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for the remainder of season 13. The official statement from VH1 was short and vague. Due to unforeseen production challenges, Jock will no longer appear in upcoming episodes. But behind the scenes was far from smooth. The producers were scrambling to fill the gaps in storyline. Cast members were being rescheduled for last-minute shoots, and a decision was made to re-edit several episodes to reduce Jock's screen time. It was damage control in real time. And as for Jock, he went silent again. But silence doesn't last long in Atlanta. Within 48 hours, fans started noticing something strange. Several of Jock's closest castmates suddenly unfollowed him on Instagram. Kendra deleted every photo with him from her grid. And Kirk Frost posted a cryptic message. "Loyalty ain't loud. It's consistent." That one post set the internet on fire. Was Kirk shading Jock? Was Kendra really done? And more importantly, what happened that was so bad producers decided to cut one of their core cast members mid-season? That's when an anonymous source dropped the final bombshells, something even the cast didn't know at the time. And that, my friend, is exactly where we're headed next. The anonymous source didn't post a shade room, didn't go to TMZ, didn't even reach out to a gossip blog. Instead, they uploaded a full 7-minute voice recording on Reddit under the username VH1 Whistleblower. And what they claimed was so shocking, so outrageous, it made everything else that had happened with young Jock look like child's play in the recording. The source, allegedly a former assistant editor on the show, said that Jock had been caught on a hot mic, blasting the producers, the network, and even some of his castmates in a private phone call that was accidentally recorded during a shoot break. They claimed the mic was left on while Jock stepped away to take the call. And a close friend of his told an influencer blog he felt betrayed on all fronts. The woman he defended season after season was making moves behind his back. The producers were recording him without warning, and his so-called boys on set him the moment things got messy. And guess who else had something to say? None other than Carly Red. Yup, Carly couldn't help herself. She jumped into the chaos with a shady tweet. "I tried to tell y'all years ago, but everyone called me crazy." Fans instantly went wild, assuming she was referring to Jock's downfall. Within minutes, Carly was right started trending. But it didn't stop there. In a surprise Instagram Live, Carly opened up for the first time in months. Her tone was calm but lethal. "When I was with Jock, everybody said I was too much, too dramatic, too clingy. But now y'all see what I was really dealing with." This man got mad when people stopped laughing with him and started laughing at him. The live was shared thousands of times. Blogs reposted every word. And once again, Chuck became the center of internet gossip without ever saying a word himself. But while the world was roasting him, Chuck was planning something big. Sources close to his team revealed that Chuck was working on a raw and unfiltered YouTube documentary titled "The Edit Ain't Real." The project would show never-before-seen footage, behind-the-scenes moments, and his personal perspective on everything that went down on Love and Hip Hop. In a now-deleted Instagram story, Jock even teased a short clip. It showed him in a dressing room talking to a producer. "Y'all want the turn up? I'll give you the turn up. But don't act like this wasn't y'all plan from jump." The post was deleted within an hour, but not before fans screen recorded it at the same time. New whispers emerged that VH1 was re-editing the rest of season 13 to focus more on the women. Kendra, Erica, Bambi, and even Spice were getting more camera time, and the showrunners wanted to shift the focus away from the messy men. Some fans saw this as a win. Others saw it as a complete betrayal, especially when a new promo for the upcoming episodes dropped. And there was zero mention of Jock, not even in the recap, not even in the voiceover. It was like he'd been erased, and the fans weren't having it. On Twitter, hashtags like #JusticeForJOC and #BringJOC started trending. Some viewers argued that while Jock was no saint, the producers were being hypocritical. How y'all let Kirk, Stevie J, and even Benzino run wild for years, but cut Jock the moment he snaps? One tweet said. Others pointed out that the show was clearly playing favorites and that Jock had become a scapegoat. But that's when Kendra decided to speak up. In an emotional post on her Instagram stories, she wrote, "This season broke me. I thought I could keep my marriage and still tell my truth. But it's clear some people only want a spotlight, not accountability." Fans immediately took sides again. Some accused her of being manipulative. Others applauded her bravery. But the tension was far from over, because in a leaked email, allegedly between VH1 producers and a third-party sponsor, it was revealed that the network was highly concerned about the public reaction to Jock's removal and was considering a final closure scene to wrap up his storyline. This meant after all the drama, all the silence, and all the shade, they might ask Jock to return for one final shoot. But would he agree? His team remained quiet, and that uncertainty was making fans even more obsessed. Would Jock return to confront Kendra on camera? Would he drop his "to lol" video? Or was he truly done with Love and Hip Hop for good? The answers weren't clear, but one thing was, we're only halfway through the storm. The rumors about a final closure shoot swirled fast. It didn't take long for the cast to start reacting. By the following Monday, Love and Hip Hop producers had reportedly reached out to young Jock's team with an offer. One final scene. Not a full return, not a redemption arc, just a sit down. One camera, one chair, and a chance to speak his truth. But Jock wasn't easy to convince. A source close to him revealed that he was bitter, bruised, and borderline done with TV. He'd spent over a decade building his identity on the franchise. For better or worse, he had become that Geetha funny one, the wild one, the one who always took the hit to keep the show moving. And now they wanted him to come back for a clean exit? At first, he refused. He allegedly told his manager, "Why the hell would I give them closure when they gave me chaos?" But as the pressure from fans continued to build on the leaked mic audio refused to die down, Jock began to reconsider. Not for the producers, not even for the check, but for his own legacy. So he set one condition. "If I do this," he reportedly said, "it's on my terms. No edits, no manipulation. Sit down with her and we talk like grown people." Her meant Kendra, and just like that, The wheels started turning. VH1 loved the idea, unfiltered face-to-face between two people whose relationship unraveled on national television. It was reality gold. A date was locked. The cameras were booked, and the internet had no idea what was coming, but someone tipped them off 2 days before the shoot. A paparazzi-style photo leaked of Jock walking into the studio lot where the final scene would be filmed. He was wearing all black headphones jaw clenched. The caption simply read, "He's back." The image went viral. Fans flooded Twitter. Some begged for a peaceful resolution. Others hoped for fireworks. But everyone was watching. What they didn't know was that Kendra had hesitated about showing up. According to insiders, she wasn't told about the final sit-down until 24 hours beforehand. She was reportedly upset with producers for trying to manufacture a fake reconciliation, when, in her words, "We haven't even spoken off camera in weeks." But Kendra, being the calculating queen she is, showed up anyway. And the moment the two locked eyes on set, everything changed. The set was stripped down. No flashy lights, no hype music. Just 2 chairs, 1 table, and a whole lot of tension. JOC sat with his hands clasped, staring at the floor. Kendra walked in slowly, her heels echoing across the floor. She didn't sit at first, just stood there, arms folded. Producers had planned a soft intro, but neither one waited. JOC. I ain't here to argue. I'm here 'cause I ain't finna be made out to be some villain on TV for the rest of my life, Kendra. Then stop acting like one. Boom. No warm-up. No small talk. The energy was heavy from the jump. JOC. You knew they were painting me a certain way, and you still went along with it. You did whole scenes without even telling me what was going on, Kendra. Because every time I tried to be honest, you shut down. The moment I started choosing me, you called it betrayal. Jock, you made moves behind my back. Kendra, I made moves to protect my sanity. They went back and forth for nearly 20 minutes, some parts emotional, some parts explosive. But the moment that really broke viewers down came halfway through, when Jock finally let the wall fall. His voice cracked. He leaned forward, elbows on knees, eyes glassy. I know I messed up. I ain't never said I was perfect. But everything I did on this show, I did 'cause I thought we was building something. Now, I'm the one everybody clowning, and you walk away clean. Kendra looked away, blinking fast, lips trembling. You think I walked away clean? She whispered. Do you know what it's like to be the one who believed in you when nobody else did? Then watch that belief get shattered over and over again. For a few seconds. Neither of them spoke. The tension cracked into silence, and then, in a move no one expected, Kendra reached into her purse and pulled out a folded piece of paper. She slid it across the table. This is a letter from a divorce attorney, she said quietly. I haven't signed it yet. Jock didn't move. Asterisk. Asterisk. Kendra, I wanted to. I still might. But part of me needed to hear you own your part. Not as a storyline, not as a moment. As a man, The room was still. Even the crew had stopped moving. JOC stared at the paper for a long time. Then he looked. At her, I ain't gone. Stop you from doing what you gotta do, he said. But just know, no matter what the show made me look like, I never stopped loving you. Just didn't know how to be enough for you and still be myself. And just like that, the cameras cut. The scene was wrapped. Emotions were raw. The producers were silent. They had gotten something more powerful than drama. They had gotten truth. And when the scene aired a week later, fans lost it. The hashtags flew. Hashtag JOC and Kendra. Hashtag raw truth. Hashtag final sit down. Clips from the scene hit over 4 million views in 2 days. Fans debated every line. Some said it was staged. Others said it was the realest moment the franchise ever aired. But one thing was certain young Jock went out on his own terms. He took control of his narrative. He didn't beg to stay. He didn't bash the network. He gave them closure, but kept his dignity. And Kendra, she still hasn't said whether she signed that paper. Rumors say she's taking time to reflect. Some fans think she's stay gone. Others think she might return next season, this time solo with a new arc. But as for Jock, the streets are talking. Word is, several streaming platforms have reached out about turning his The Edit Ain't Real doc into a full series. There's even buzz that Zeus Network is eyeing him for a new unscripted show. Young Jock might be done with Love and Hip Hop, but he sure as hell ain't done with TV. And just when you thought the chapter had closed, another twist is coming because someone else from the cast just spoke up. And what she revealed could blow the lid off everything you thought you knew. The internet was still reeling from young Jock and Kendra's emotional sit-down when a surprise live stream flipped the entire narrative on its head. And guess who went live? None other than Erica Mena, known for her explosive energy and fearless opinions. Erica didn't waste a second. She didn't tease. She didn't drop hints. She went straight for the throat. Y'all really believe Jock just got fired over one little argument, she said, shaking her head at the camera. Nah, baby. That man stepped on too many toes, real ones, and that's why he got cut. The chat exploded. Emojis flew. The comment section turned into a war zone. Erica continued. Let's be clear, Jock ain't the first dude to talk back to producers. But the difference is, he started exposing how the show actually works. And they couldn't have that. Not with sponsors watching. Not with ratings dropping. And then she dropped the real bombshell. He found out about the bonus structure. That some of us, the drama queens, were getting checks bigger than his just for stirring chaos. He confronted them, and boom, next thing you know, he's ghosted from the promo. That wasn't an accident, y'all. That was retaliation. Fans were shook. Was there really a secret system rewarding certain cast members for being messier? Was the show rigging conflict behind the scenes? Erica's live was reposted within minutes across social platforms. YouTube clips with titles like Erica Mena exposes VH1 corruption, and the truth behind Jock's firing flooded the algorithm. And fans who once dragged Erica were now listening. And guess who liked one of those reposts? Kendra. It was just a double tap. No comment, no words. But that heart symbol said everything. And the fans noticed. Suddenly, the narrative shifted again. Now, instead of seeing Jock as an out-of-control hothead, people started viewing him as the scapegoat, the sacrificial lamb of a broken system. And once again, the fans rallied behind him. Hash apologized to JOC trended for hours, but the drama wasn't done. Another source. This time, a hairstylist who had worked on multiple reunion specials stepped forward in a blog interview and claimed that the season 13 reunion had already been filmed. Without Jock, it was awkward, she said. They acted like he never existed. Kendra was there, but every time someone brought him up, producers shut it down. She claimed the energy was weirdly controlled, that cast members were told in advance to keep the focus on current arcs. Translation: pretend Jock never happened. But that strategy backfired. Fans were furious when the reunion aired, and not a single segment was dedicated to the breakup, the final scene, or the controversy around his exit. They called it gaslighting, lazy editing, and disrespectful. One tweet read, "You don't get to milk Jock's marriage for 6 seasons and then act like he vanished. Nah, we saw it all." And the outrage reached a boiling point when Jock finally dropped his full Talal documentary on YouTube. The Edit Ain't Real premiered at 9 p.m. sharp. No fancy intros, no music videos, just raw footage, timestamps, and receipts. He showed deleted scenes, conversations between him and Kendra that painted a much more complex picture of their relationship. He showed how some arguments were chopped to make him look worse, how producers gave nudges to cast members behind the camera, and even played clips where he specifically asked them not to air certain private moments, and they aired them. Anyway, but the scene that broke the internet. A never-before-seen confession from season 12. In it, Jock sat alone, speaking directly to the camera. "I ain't perfect. I know that. But sometimes I wish they'd show more than just the jokes and the cheating rumors. I wish they'd show the real me, the dad, the hustler, the dude who actually trying to be better. But I guess that don't sell, huh?" That clip was barely 2 minutes long, but it hit like a hammer. The comments section exploded. Even celebrities began sharing it. T.I. posted the link with a caption, "This industry do you dirty if you let M." Mona Scott Young, producer of Love and Hip Hop, remained silent. But fans flooded her page demanding answers. The backlash was so intense that VH1 was forced to respond. In a rare public statement, the network posted, "We are aware of the recent content released by cast member Young Jock. While we stand by our editorial process, we acknowledge the concerns raised and are committed to transparency in future productions." But it was too late. The truth had come out, and Jock was winning the public by the end of the week. The Edit Ain't Real had over 6 million views. Brands began reaching out. He landed an exclusive interview with Revolt. Spotify invited him to do a podcast. And Zeus officially announced that Jock had signed on for a new reality series, tentatively titled After the Cut. It was the comeback no one expected, but everyone wanted. And guess what? Kendra was reportedly in talks to appear on that show to a quiet reunion, closure, maybe even a second chance. Fans were divided. Some said let it die. Others were already shipping #GenDRA again. One post read, "Toxic but iconic. I'm watching every episode." Meanwhile, Love and Hip Hop ratings dipped slightly after the reunion. New storylines didn't hit as hard. And fans kept flooding the comments with one question: where's Jock? It's funny how the person they wanted gone the most became the one they missed the most. As for Jock, he posted one final video. Him sitting on a couch, no edits, no music. Just him. He looked into the camera and said, "They told me I was disposable. They told me I was replaceable. They told me I'd be forgotten. But look who's still here. Look who's still got a voice." He smiled, and trust me, this ain't the last time you gone hear it. Screen faded to black. End of story. Not even close. So there you have it on Jock. Didn't just get fired. K got framed, faded out, and forced into silence. Or at least, that's what the producers wanted to happen. But instead of fading into the background, he flipped the whole script, dropped receipts, exposed the system, and walked away with more power than ever before. From that heartbreaking sit-down with Kendra, to Erica Mena's bombshell Live, to the Edit Ain't Real documentary that lit the internet on fire, this wasn't just another reality TV meltdown. This was a man taking back his name, taking back his story, and letting the world know he is not the storyline, he is the truth. They tried to cut. Now fans are asking, will VH1 recover from this backlash? Will the franchise finally be forced to change the way they treat their cast? And what happens if Kendra really joins Jock's new show? Could there be reconciliation? Or will it all explode again? And you, you, watching this right now? You think young Jock was done dirty? Was Kendra wrong for doing those solo scenes? Should he return to love and hip-hop? Or is he better off doing it his own way? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. We want all the smoke. Every hot take. Every messy opinion. And while you're at it, hit that like button if you were just as shocked as we were. Smash that subscribe for more behind-the-scenes bombshells. And don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss when the next scandal drops. Because in this game of reality TV, the real drama is what happens after the camera's cut. This is the Wolf Casebook. We'll see you next time.